So they gave the old guy a button just in case I need to back up if I go too slow. Hey, question I've been asked today is what constitutes a small sat? I would say anything smaller than a school bus sized bird is a small sat. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about alignment first. We're not talking junk sats, we're not talking about, gee, do we really need this or not? We're aligned with the national military strategy when we are able to do A2, 8D. And to be able to operate through space, but also to be able to work through a contested environment, including a cyber environment. So this is actually something that is aligned with the national strategy. The investment areas that the country is looking at from a military standpoint, of course, that leads into the intelligence community is these. You've got the space capabilities, but the ability to mobilize quickly. Again, so here we're talking about the ability to do reconstitution, replenishment. Now, let's spend a moment here on the space policy because back during 2009 and into 2010, there was a policy put together, signed out by the President of the United States that does say we've got to be able to have capabilities that can operate through a contested environment. If you think about that, you think about these other issues, about costs being a driver. Think about the difficulty we've had in inserting new technology with systems that were fabulous and last forever. Think about the fact that we're not going to have freedom of overflight like we've had ubiquitous, really air supremacy for the last 14 years in many areas. If you think about these issues, they become drivers that you can look at to say, hey, the time is now. The time is also now because from a technology standpoint, we now see capabilities that are really incredible. You're looking at the ability to be able to collect near 6 imagery from small sats, and we'll talk about that later today at one of our panels. You're looking at launch capabilities that are being considered that are on demand, same day types of launch capabilities. So technology has not stood still. Key though is that this is not just a collection issue. Hey, I'm old enough to remember when we all chased the shiny collector and we didn't do anything with what we all started to call TPED, the ground architecture, the ability to make sense out of that data. Can't do the same thing, can't replay that mistake when we're talking about families of small sats, clusters, swarms, great diversity in terms of small sats that can be on orbit. We've got to make sure that we have easy use by the end users, so from tasking, handheld to the satellite and so on, processing on board, at the ground station, and at the handset, and so on. As you walk your way through a TPED paradigm, it's got to be useful, and it's got to be able to work within the context of other sources, so in a multi-int environment. When you think back to the President's charge to say we've got to be able to work through a contested environment, if it's a cyber attack or even a kinetic attack on our assets, that doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to be the collection architecture that's impacted. The ground architecture can also be disrupted from both cyber and kinetic attack. And so when we think about supplemental and complementary capabilities, we've got to have capabilities that in extremis can be able to support, including the ground architecture. However, to move forward and to make these things really be seen by large communities, to move them towards programs of record, we've got to be able to demonstrate that these things can deliver to the end user as promised and that they will fit within an architecture. That means that during peacetime normal, these small birds can, if we choose to, flow their information into existing architectures and then in extremis be able to also support the flow of information where you need it, when you need it. I want to use this as a little bit of a shameless plug too to say that at 2:45 or 3:30 in Salon GH, we're going to be running a small sat panel where we'll have CEOs of some of the small sat companies, Planet IQ, Planet Labs, we'll have microcosm there, and also aerospace will be there talking that this isn't just the art of the possible, this is real. I mean, we know we have North on orbit today. We'd love to have you come to see that. And also, if you didn't see what Kristen Quinn wrote in the last issue of Trajectory magazine, there's a fabulous article here, a real great primer on small sats, where we've been, where we are, and where we're headed. Thank you.